Hello, beautiful people. It's your girl Neyssa with XPansive Taste. So, for this video, I'm talking about my unpopular opinions concerning the gender war. And, everyone's just at it talking about why she sucks and why he sucks. And people are just, mad right now. And the dating market is just not looking too good. Everyone's expecting the worst out of each other. And I don't know, disqualifying people that don't need to be disqualified. So I'm first going to talk about the ick. The ick is keeping you single. There are some icks that are reasonable, but I don't feel like they are supposed to be disqualifiers for someone entirely. For the most part, most icks can be changed. And it's good to have high standards, and you're allowed to feel any type of way about things that aren't, really aligning with what you want. But to just like brush somebody off or ghost them because of like one or two little things that were just like off, it doesn't make sense to me, and it's like you're not actually approaching dating in a realistic way. Most of the time, the things you're experiencing the ick about can be changed. Like maybe he has a Velcro wallet, and that's just like, I don't know, it seems very childish to you. But guess what? You can get him a new wallet. Or maybe he wears cargo pants everywhere. Well, you could also get him new type of pants that are in his style and convenience, but also just like look better for like when you go out together. Like right now, I have a boyfriend and he's amazing, but there were some experiences, especially in our first date, that were some red flags or yellow flags, and maybe even the icks. Like on our first date, we went to a juice bar slash like yoga studio, and it was a nice place that was really cute. But he also like brought handcuffs to the date, and he was showing off this party trick, pretty much like he put one handcuff on me and the other one on him, and he was like unlocking it with a bobby pin, and I sat through that and I thought, wow, this is weird, this is kind of some maybe a red flag. But hey, we're together over 1 year now and we're cool, and he does offer to buy me a juice, and I had like a carrot juice and it was good and we had good conversation. But then towards the end of the day, he suggests that we check out the yoga studio and do some stretches, and there I am just going with the flow, and I see this grown man hitting the splits, and it's just like weird, it's strange. I never experienced that before. Overall, even though the date was a little strange and made me question a little bit, I could also notice that this guy was very nice and he was very intelligent, and he was not afraid to be himself, and I really like that about him. And that's why I was willing to continue on, and I feel like that's something that you should consider too. Like even though this guy might say something off or do something off, it's not always like a signal that you need to run. It's just one of those things that makes him human, and you shouldn't just disqualify any guy because he doesn't fit a certain mold in your head. Unpopular opinion number 2 is around the saying, if he wanted to, he would. Well, I do believe that if a guy loves you and wants to take care of you, he will do those things. And you have to actually have evidence that that is what he's willing to do in order to believe that he will continue to do it. But at the same time, a lot of you are being delusional about what that means. And trust me, I am a Delulu girl, and I understand manifestation and how to get the things that you want. But sometimes it's not that he wouldn't, it's that he can't. And what you're asking for might be a little unreasonable, or it's just gonna take a little bit more time than you expected. Sometimes you're asking something from the wrong person, and it could also be the wrong time. Like there are just certain ways to ask for things, and some things that you just shouldn't expect, like especially like right in the beginning of a relationship. Of course, there are basic things that you should be receiving, like respect and love, and they should be able to give you what they can give you. But don't expect literally everything that they can give you and just drain everything out of them. That's like ridiculous and very selfish and hurtful. And the other part is like, if you actually want to have a certain kind of treatment, you actually have to express that. You have to tell them what you want. You can't just expect people to know what you want and how you want to be treated. Like if you want flowers, just ask for flowers. If you want to go out on a certain type of date, let him know that you want to be taken out on this certain type of date. Stop expecting men to read your minds. If you want something, you have to be a big girl and actually ask for what you want. Also, you need to not settle for and accept certain treatment that is just not aligned with who you are and how you want to be treated. Like, if you don't like the way he's speaking to you about a certain thing, you can ask him to, like, change his tone or lower his voice. You can ask for anything really. And if he says no, then try to look into why he's saying no. Like, for example, last night my boyfriend told me I couldn't eat another slice of pizza because he knows that I have certain goals and he doesn't want me to sabotage myself, because I do have an issue where I self-sabotage myself. And so while I was sad in the moment, here I am today feeling pretty good that he didn't let me eat that slice of pizza, because I already had, like, four. It was like a thin crust. Sometimes a no is help and protection. And even though I love shopping dates and staying out in nice hotels, it doesn't mean that I'm going to get that, like, literally every single day and weekend. Like, I'm realistic enough to know that I get that, but I also should just be happy and can be happy with just going to the beach, walking at the park, or, having a little cheap date where we just, like, get cookies from a bakery. And even though he's not taking me to Dubai in this current time, I still have had many new experiences because of him. Like, before him, I never been to the circus and I never been to a Renaissance fair. And I'm actually going to another one tomorrow, so that's gonna be fun. And even though in the beginning most of our dates didn't cost any more than like $100, now he's spending hundreds of dollars on, weekend vacations. And while I didn't receive everything in the beginning of the relationship like some of you guys are expecting, over time, we've only been together like a bit over a year. But yeah, as the love and the trust is growing more and more, he's giving me more and more and giving me more princess treatment. Some things you just need to wait for, especially if you're not going down the route of, like, being a sugar baby and marrying a 70-year-old rich man. Like, that's not what I want for my life, okay? So if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But if you actually are willing to work with someone, that I think is going to be overall better. Unpopular opinion number 3, which is, I don't think should be unpopular at all, but your partner can't be your everything. They shouldn't be the sole source of your safety and your happiness. And I don't know, you shouldn't just expect everything out of them. Your partner is not your mother, your partner is not your father, your maid, your cook, your personal shopper. Your partner is not your therapist. Your partner is not your teacher. Your partner is not your everything, okay? Your partner is not your child. For the most part, your partner is just a person that loves you and you love back, that wants to do life with you and wants to take care of you and also wants to be taken care of by you. But you can't expect everything. You can't expect them to be everything. It's just too much. I know you want to communicate to your boyfriend pretty much like he's one of your girlfriends, but that's not it. Like, he could be one of your best friends, but he's also just not a woman that's going to relate to you in the same way that your girlfriends will. So stop expecting him to react in a certain way that is how your girlfriends would react, or how you would talk, and, like, stop expecting him to enjoy everything that you're going to enjoy. Like, he can't be your everything and he can't be your therapist. Like, sometimes you need that emotional support and he'll be there for you, but he can't be the one to solve all your problems. You need to have some sort of power and strength within yourself to actually make things happen for yourself. You should be able to talk about anything with your partner, but he should also be able to talk about anything with you. Sometimes you're going to be having a tough time and you'll need more support, but you can't be having a tough time all the time. Sometimes you're going to need to be the backbone. And you can't expect your partner to always be the one to make you happy and give you entertainment. Like, you need your own hobbies. You need something that's going to fulfill yourself that doesn't necessarily involve the other person. Like, do some things by yourself that you enjoy. Make sure you're still spending time with your girls so you have that girl energy to power you up. My next unpopular opinion is that sexual attraction is important. And yes, personality, kindness, intelligence, those are all good things to have. Competency, those are all great things. But also, sexual attraction is important in relationships. Unless you are 20 pounds underweight, there's no reason why you should be gaining 20 more pounds in your relationship. just because you're happy and comfortable. The thing is, the average American will gain 4 pounds a year. While you can be looking good with those 20 extra pounds, like just understand that you will be gaining more weight if you're not, watching what you eat. So yeah, 4 extra pounds a year will turn into, in 10 years, that's like 40 pounds. And now you're 60 pounds overweight. And that's not what you wanted for yourself. Stop letting comfort getting in the way of having the dream body that you want, and also the dream body that your partner might deserve because he's just that great. Yes, losing weight is hard, but it's also pretty simple and you know how to do it. There are so many resources out there. Stop making so many excuses that are keeping you from having a life that you want. I'm not saying in any way that your partner should just leave you or mistreat you if you did gain weight. That's ridiculous. But just keep in mind that your partner is with you because they found you attractive at one point and they want you to keep up, okay? So you don't want to just like take advantage of like how much they love you and pretty much give them the version of yourself that's not the best. Because you love them, you should give them the best version of yourself, not just physically but also emotionally and all that. For example, another thing that could kill sexual attraction is a bad attitude and neediness. So you want to be a good person to be around and also not be too needy. So that's like, how I was saying that you can't expect your partner to be your everything. You kind of have to be able to provide yourself with some things. So yeah, don't be too needy. You got to give him an opportunity to chase you. That's a whole thing that goes on between the masculine and feminine energy. The masculine energy feels better and grows even more when he feels like he has to chase you a little bit to get your attention. Don't just like run away and ghost him. That's toxic. Just like, there are ways to do things. I'll get into more details about that. And I'm just going to share one more unpopular opinion because I got somewhere to be, and yeah, I'll just make a part 2 for my other 5 opinions. So unpopular opinion, love is a choice. You should know this by now. I feel like most of you should know this by now. Love is a choice, and it's not just like the butterflies you get at the beginning of a relationship. It's not just the honeymoon phase. The thing is, that will only last like 6 months or whatever at most. So you have to be able to make that grow. You have to prolong that by choosing to love the person. Even when they tick you off, you have to remember that this is the person that you want to be with. So in order to make things happen, you have to be able to push through some things and give them the best version of yourself, and also just work together better and like express your needs and your wants and choose to provide them with something. And they should also be doing the same thing for you. They have to understand that things can't be perfect all the time. Sometimes you have to make yourself remember about the good things about that person so that you can feel more love in that moment, and just be more patient with them, and give them what you can and allow them to feel special every day, and they're going to return that energy. So that honeymoon phase never has to end as long as you're remembering to bring in that same energy. The thing that made you fall in love with them, that's gotta keep showing up in order for you to stay in love. Pretty much, it's a choice. You gotta keep remembering the things that made you fall in love with them, and the same things that made them fall in love with you. You gotta keep doing those things in order to keep that energy flowing. The honeymoon phase never has to end. And you're just like happy and content, and you might confuse that with being boring, but really all that means is that you're in a safe, happy relationship that is successful. So you want to keep that up. You don't need excitement in something. You don't need a fight to make things seem more real. Like, it's already real. You've already made that conscious effort to make things work. And you're always making that choice to love each other. And that's very important. I wish I could talk more and provide a little bit more value, but I gotta go, guys. So thank you so much for listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. I really would appreciate it. I'm so happy to be like at 210 subscribers right now. That's amazing. I feel like as I'm saying 210, it's probably like gone down to 202 or something like that. But still, that's like a huge feat, and I'm so excited that my channel is growing finally. Slowly, very slowly, but I appreciate all of you guys so much. And I hope you can stick around. And that is all, beautiful people. I send you my love. Mwah. Bisous.
A little bit of this, a little bit of that.